like family. I'm entrusting them to Yulia, a young girl who was raised at that facility. In normal circumstances, I would never place such a heavy burden on the shoulders of a child. But these are not normal circumstances. It is my fervent hope that this information finds its way into the hands of a compassionate soul, so that these horrors can finally be exposed to the light of day. MODS virus experiment reports from foster facility, like family.
What in the name of...
That's a lot of soldiers. Hopefully this means they haven't moved that mech already.
There are no indications that any large ship has departed from here in the last few hours. Even supposing they transported it over land, they will not have gotten far.
Where's Patrick?
He has sent no further communication. I cannot determine his current whereabouts.
Guess I gotta find him the old-fashioned way. Alright, Koshka, here goes.
Great. What am I supposed to do with his dead ass? Where are we with transport?
Sir, we've already completed work on one mech. The other is in progress in Warehouse 1.
This is taking a lot longer than it should. You useless piece of trash! I don't care if you want to go and get yourself killed. Just don't waste my precious time doing it!
Apologies, sir. It's because we had orders to look for that girl.
Fuck your orders! Why the hell are soldiers playing tag with a damn kid when there's a war going on? Forget about the kid! The Wanzer takes priority!
Yes, sir.
One's already been moved. Wait, there are two of these things?
The enemy soldiers in this vicinity are leaving. Now is your chance.
I better get to that warehouse. And fast.
Nearby survivor located. Transmitting coordinates to your device.
Excuse me. You're a Ruthenian soldier, right? I think I'm lost.
How you managed to slip by the enemy without being seen and make it all the way here is beyond me. But forget about that. Why did you leave the shelter? I told you to stay there.
Oh, yes. That is what you said. When I went in, there were these weird bugs. And I'm a little scared, you know, of bugs. So I left. I really don't know what I should do.
Look, I'm asking nicely. Pretty, please. Don't leave the shelter!
You should keep your voice down, you know. The enemy might hear.
You're right. You're exactly right. Thank you for warning me. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's always nice when people listen to your advice. Oh, that means I should listen to your advice too, doesn't it?
I would really like it if you did.
All right. I promise I won't leave the shelter again.
Subject of protection registered. Lead the way to the shelter. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy... Caution. The enemy is approaching.
All right, now.
Civilian subject of protection safely evacuated to shelter. Caution. Close quarters weapon damage. The enemy is approaching. Caution. 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 The enemy is approaching.
Help me! Please help me!
Calm down. Tell me what happened.
We were hiding upstairs and then all of a sudden enemy soldiers ran in. I didn't think, I just bolted, but I don't think the other girl made it out.
Where were you? This building?
Yeah, on the second floor, number 205. Please, you have to help her.
Okay, you wait right here until I get back, understood? Koshka, mark number 205 for me.
Caution. Close quarters weapon.
Hey, anyone here? Say something if you are. Wait a second, where is she?
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
I told her to stay here. Where did she run off to?
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Enemy combatant!
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Oh, you're that soldier from before. You got out safe and sound.
So this is where you were. I thought I told you to stay put until I got back.
Forget about that. Listen, I just heard screams coming from inside the building.
Maybe that girl you told me about earlier ran in here. All right, guess I gotta check it out. Can you tell me where you heard the screams coming from?
The 3rd floor. I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'll be right back. So stay here this time, okay? Koshka, mark the 3rd floor rooms for me.
Be careful.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Nope.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. Body armor damage worsening. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
There!
Where are they?
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Seriously? There wasn't anyone anywhere I looked. The hell?
Enemy troop deployments have changed. Transmitting information to your device. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Where did you get to this time? Give me a break.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Oh, you again. You're still alive. I waited and waited and you didn't come back. I was so worried.
I'm the one who was worried. I told you not to move until I got back. I just barely made it out of there.
Oh, really? Just barely. Well, forget about that. I saw enemy soldiers chasing after this woman. She ran inside this building just a few minutes ago, but the soldiers followed her, and then I heard gunshots after that. You can help her, can't you?
There hasn't been one person in any of the places you've told me about. And when I come back to find you, you've vanished. That's twice now you've cried wolf, so excuse me if I can't exactly take your word a third time.
I'm just telling you what I saw. Or maybe... I knew it. Even soldiers are desperate to stay alive.
Fine, I'll go check it out. Koshka, mark the rooms in this building for me.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution.
There!
It doesn't seem like anyone's even hiding here.
Enemy troop deployments have changed. Transmitting information to your device.
Damn, where are you?
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Another empty room.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Halt!
Body armor failure. Please take care when under fire.
Hey, hold on. It's her. That woman from before. How did she end up dead in here?
Analyzing corpse. I believe it has been at least 3 hours since her death.
What? That can't be right. I was just talking to her a little while ago.
What conversation was that? I have no records of you ever speaking with this woman. The only recent data I have for this area is of you talking to yourself, Mikhail.
But I swear she was just... No way. There's no way.
I almost had you.
Koshka, what was that voice just now?
Did you hear something? I did not detect anything.
You can't be serious.
Caution. The enemy is approaching. 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 Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Look at all those guards. This must be the place.
I concur with your assessment. There is an entrance on the second floor. I advise you enter the building there as opposed to the front door. Caution. The enemy is approaching.
So this is it. I've never seen anything like it before.
There are fewer guards inside the building. I advise dealing with them first.
Makes sense. They wouldn't have wanted more people than necessary to see this thing. Alright. This'll be a piece of cake.
They are still armed and dangerous, Mikhail. Do not take this lightly. Caution. The enemy is approaching. Caution.
Run! Grenade! Ah! Grenade! Ah! Grenade!
Caution. The enemy is approaching.
Grenade!
Enemy troop deployments have changed. Transmitting information to your device. Caution. The enemy in the area. It is safe for the time being.
Well fought, Staff Sergeant Shuvalov. Apparently this mech is codenamed Volk. I did a brief analysis before you arrived. This was definitely manufactured here using those stolen plans.
This is what Zafra wanted, isn't it?
Yes, it is. A Zaftran corporation pilfered those plans and manufactured this mech here. Not that it really matters much now.
Why not?
Circumstances have changed. My job's done. Whatever happens now is out of my hands. How was your trip to the slums? Come back with any useful souvenirs? A kid? Oh, you mean Yulia Smirnova. She's one of the orphans Zafra. Well, Simargo really was collecting. I heard she'd been taken away, but maybe she managed to escape. I get it. This is all a bit too heavy for an ordinary soldier. Simargo's a nationalist group that controls pretty much all of Zafra as we know it. Simply put, any power to be had, they have it. No laws can stop them. Every top dog in every organization belongs to Simargo. Every last aspect of life in Zafra is under their thumb.
What are they doing here?
There's been constant fighting ever since this country split in two. starting with that liberation movement. As a matter of course, when public safety takes a nosedive, the number of people without families or desperate for money skyrockets. And that was all part of the plan.
Of course more and more people are losing their families. Even I know how crazy high the crime rate is out there. Are you saying they're using those people to make money or something?
Simargl is using those people to research the effects of a certain virus. They had some idea of what it does, but they needed a much bigger sample size to research it further. The virus itself isn't very contagious since it's bloodborne. You practically have to be infected on purpose. That's why they arranged for this war to break out. That's why all these people have died. That's why all this blood has been shed. Who knows? I never said I had all the details. The one thing I am sure of is that they're planning something even more sinister than what they've already done. And there's nothing more I can do. The rest is up to HQ. I expect they'll be intervening soon. You should get out of here as fast as your legs will take you, Sergeant. Sorry. I know I deceived you, but that's kind of my entire job. But don't worry. I'm gonna hold up my end of the bargain. There's an underground route that will lead you out of here and straight into Newtown. I'll send a helicopter to pick you up from one of the buildings. Oh, and the person who gave me the evidence for all this will be heading that way too. You should meet up with her.
You didn't really think I'd let you escape, did you? Now talk. How much of what you just said was bullshit? You said that virus was bloodborne. Answer me! What happens if you get infected?
If you're gonna fool your enemy, first you fool your friends. A cruel tactic, but effective. Well, I'm still waiting for my people to fill me in on the details of their investigation, but I can hazard a guess. Apparently they call the MODS virus by another name. Euthanasia. So sadly, you'll probably die. How many people have you killed since setting foot in Nova Slava? You never were anything more than a disposable tool for them. Ivan Zastyevich.
I get it now. They were being literal when they told me to make it a bloodbath. Then all your loose ends tie themselves up in a nice little bow. You don't even have to kill them yourself. That's why they sent me to this shithole without any backup! You're coming with me! Our fates are intertwined now. Those bastards won't get away with using me!